Hi folks. There are some missions where the designer might have disabled satellite navigation, such as setting the date of the mission before SatNav was introduced in 92. There's also some bugs in the recent patches where the ABRIS picks up nav errors when it should be functional. That, or if, say, your receiver got shut off, which, if I recall correctly, is the case when you lose your tail. Either way, if it's unable to get good enough readings from enough satellites, it becomes unhappy. You'll see the ABRIS display a nav error in yellow at the top when this happens. In short, it won't show your ground speed or update your position then. Note that the ABRIS with default settings gets your heading and altitude from your INU and other aircraft systems. So even if the ABRIS was working perfectly, if your INU's heading has drifted far out, then the ABRIS will show your correct position but an incorrect heading. Your ground track would still be calculated correctly though. A nav error doesn't mean your ABRIS is useless. You can still look at terrain, see known SAM threat zones based off your current altitude, search for a town or airport's coordinates, or draw ERBLs. Wingman's data link comes through the R800 radio, so their positions are still shown accurately and updated in the map. I'd assume if their SatNav is also down, it's based on the coordinates of their INUs, though I haven't confirmed that. Just your position and thus bearings to you will be stuck to where you were at startup. Now I've played to see if I could get it to update your position of your INU instead, thus making the moving map, well, still moving. I tried switching off, which might be the comms to it, playing around with Ziggy here by forcing it to retest different modes and the build modes and so on, changing the KO for one work mode, reloading the database, or changing RAM settings, but unfortunately I didn't find anything, and no setting the ABRIS date to a later time when there would be SatNav didn't fool it into working. Maybe someone else will find that magical combination. So, no real-time updating, unfortunately. However, I have found the old have you tried turning it off and on trick works in the ABRIS, as when the ABRIS goes on, it will update your position at the time as a static snapshot. Not as useful, but if you're planning on loitering around for a bit, what you can do is switch your ABRIS off and then on again as you approach your battle position. About a minute 20 later, after switching it on, you'll see the checks go from the ABRIS performing full test to ABRIS ready loading UI. At about that point, the ABRIS has taken the coordinates from your INU. While that may be inaccurate if your INU is drifted, and will also be static so it won't update with your maneuvers, it does mean that your map around you is more accurate instead of still showing you as wherever you were at startup. If you don't maneuver too far off this position, where your ABRIS came back online, this way you'll have a more relevant sight picture of where your wingmen are relative to you, and of course any daylink targets and selected nav target points in relation to yourself. So in short, if you have a nav error, turn the ABRIS off and on. About 1 minute 20 seconds later, it'll update the static position to wherever your INU thinks you are at that time. If you move further out or recalibrate your INU with, say, fixed points, maybe off on ABRIS again. This is Volk. Cheers.